Regarding all of the recent orb sightings around the world, I've been researching orbs for about 6 months. I started looking at them after having heard from a couple of friends who had seen them, and also hearing from a witness who claims to have seen a fallen angel and then summoned it several times after that first sighting. And on the occasions when he summoned it, it appeared to him in orb form, he said many times. He provided photos of those appearances. I covered this in my video titled Falling Angels, where I give his detailed account, and this is it. Falling Angels right here. It's part of my playlist titled Orbs Are Spirit Beings Manifesting in Our Frequency. After communicating with that witness in about 100 emails, I was convinced that he was telling the truth because of his diligence in wanting to communicate his story and because of the very specific details he gave, including events that surrounded the fallen angel encounter. He said that elites summon them and also pay people a lot of money to do it. Around the same time I was communicating with this person, I happened to be researching different occult movies and album art and recognizing a pattern that these orbs were depicted as spirit beings. This art that I was looking at was art by those who are in the club. For example, Tavistock musicians with military intelligence parents, bloodliners, or those knighted by royalty. And I give some examples of those in these videos in my playlist. So, the fact that I saw these orbs depicted in movies and album art and literature led me to believe that witness account when he said that the elites summon them and even pay people a lot of money to do it for them. In this video, I'm going to give some very old historical examples of references to orbs and also modern references which are linked to those in the club, leading me to definitely theorize that the fog we are now seeing could be a method used to hide them from the general population now that they've started seeing them with more frequency. So in folklore, will the wisps are typically attributed to ghosts. And I'm going to talk about a comment that I have seen on videos a couple of times about orbs, where people have commented that orbs are will the wisp. The biblical name would be fallen angel or demon spirit. In folklore, will the wisps are typically attributed to ghosts, fairies, or elemental spirits meant to reveal a path or direction. These wisps are portrayed as dancing or flowing in a static form until noticed or followed, in which case they usually fade or disappear. Here's a will-o'-the-wisp description by a Welsh author. He wrote, will-o'-the-wisps are lambent flames recorded for centuries in many different cultures under many different synonyms. Lambent means light of fire, glowing, gleaming, or flickering. And the term is derived from the Latin ignis fatuus, or foolish fire. Other synonyms are spirit fire, ghost fire, burning drake, burning candle, dank will, death fires, elf fire, the fair maid of Ireland, the friar's lantern, puck, shoot stars, spittle of the stars, star jelly, Natasha, walking fire, wandering fires, double ignis fatuus that carries its finger ends, 5 lights that spin around like a wheel. This is a quote from a Welsh poem in 1340 titled The Lambent Flame. There was in every hollow 100 wry-mouthed wisps. Historically, there have been many accounts of the will-o'-the-wisp, with even Sir Isaac Newton mentioning them in his 1704 opus Optics. They've also been incorporated into modern culture, such as literature, theater, movies, album art, it says, which I did give some examples in the videos in my playlist titled Orbs Are Spirit Beings. manifesting in our frequency, but I'm going to give some other examples in this video also. They've been referred to as fairy lights, suggesting they are the work of, or indeed are, fairies. The phenomenon is also inextricably linked with the leading astray of weary travelers. The light was taken to be a lantern or a torch created by a mischievous spirit. They are also referred to as ball lightning, or globes of fire, which move slowly from the clouds to earth. Shakespeare mentions an ignis fatuus, or ball of wildfire, in Henry IV. Here is a tarot or magic card titled Summoning the Will o' the Wisp. And there's a poem on here. It says, about in a reel and rout, the death fires danced at night. The water like a witch's oils burnt green and blue and white. And that's by Samuel Coleridge in The Rime of an Ancient Mariner. And I believe they can and do shapeshift into other beings, like Bigfoot and fairies, and maybe even hellhounds, etc. The movie and literature seem to corroborate their shape-shifting nature. My witness account also corroborates their shape-shifting nature. And the Harvard paper released over the summer by researchers and a director also corroborates that shape-shifting nature. See my video titled Externalization of the Hierarchy. The shape-shifting nature would make these orbs even more significant to pay attention to, since that is the case that they may not always just be floating around up in the sky. We may start to see them in different forms. The name Will o' the Wisp is derived from the Saxon word wile and means trickery or deceitfulness, combined with the Swedish word wisp, meaning bundle of tinder. Travelers at night describe the Will o' the Wisp as ghost-like blue flames with an unwavering glow that floats a few feet above the ground. Will o' the Wisps have a variety of folklore associated with them, and some say they're flames created by the Fae, lights carried by elves. Here they are depicted as elves leaving Middle-earth in The Lord of the Rings. And these are your classic Tuatha De Danann, which I have talked about a lot on this channel. And let's not forget that J.R.R. Tolkien, the author of The Lord of the Rings, was a bloodliner. And Sir Peter Jackson, who produced The Lord of the Rings films, was a Knight of the Crown. But also, Sir Peter Jackson was the one who funded the release of Damien Eccles, the satanic child murderer, and admitted cult practitioner, off death row. Will o' the Wisp sometimes are claimed to give you the power of divination and prophecy, but mostly they are believed to be mischievous creatures. Now let's look at this concert video by Taylor Swift for her song Willow.
Head on the pillow, I can feel you sneaking in, as if you were a mythical thing, like you were a trophy or a chip.
So there she is in a forest, and her little witches in that video there, they're carrying orbs. So that's definitely a reference to the orbs in relation to the Willow the Wisp. All right. Now here is the music video for that song.
The more that you say, the less I know. Whatever you stray, priceless. The more that you say, is wine.
So what I wanted to show there is that that music video depiction is very similar to this depiction in the famous painting titled Will o' the Wisp and the Snake by Hermann Hendrick. And who is Hermann Hendrick? He's a German painter in the late 1800s, known for his works inspired by German mythology and legends, and his paintings were purchased by German Emperor Wilhelm II. Another example in current culture of Will o' the Wisp is this Disney series titled Willow, released in 2022. And everybody knows about Disney being the high-level Rosicrucian. It says, Lucasfilm and Imagine Entertainment bring us Willow, an all-new action-adventure series based on the original 1988 fantasy film. And the original film centers around Willow Ufgood, an aspiring sorcerer. And the original was a George Lucas film, and this new Disney series is a continuation of that. What else about Will o' the Wisp? Let's see. In Origin Tales, protagonists named either Will or Jack are doomed to haunt the marshes with the light for some... I just want to play this. Misdeed. One version from Shropshire is recounted by Briggs in a dictionary of fairies and refers to Will Smith. Will Smith. Sorry, I just keep losing that, but I want to keep it. See, there she has an orb. One version from Shropshire is recounted by Briggs in a dictionary of fairies and refers to Will Smith. Will is a wicked blacksmith who is given a second chance by St. Peter at the gates of heaven, but leads such a bad life that he ends up doomed to wander the earth. The devil provides him with a single burning coal with which to warm himself, which he then uses to lure foolish travelers into marshes. Will Smith has a daughter named Willow. Mexico has equivalents. Folklore explains the phenomenon to be witches who transformed into these lights. And this right here is just an AI-generated image of the Will o' the Wisp with an orb. And she looks like a witch, also similar to that Taylor Swift video. Here's a Japanese rendition of the Russian Will o' the Wisp. And now I'm going to play some of a video about Google's quantum computing chip named Willow, so that you can see my point about how these things can potentially manifest or shift into something other than the orbs of the sky, which we might want to be concerned about.
Guys, it's finally happened. Google has introduced a quantum computing chip that transforms what we know about computation. After years of breakthroughs, Willow brings precision and scalability that redefine the possibilities for quantum systems and AI. The chip tackles one of the toughest challenges in quantum computing by reducing errors as the system scales. With every additional qubit, Willow enhances stability, demonstrating the kind of reliability needed for large-scale systems. This advancement sets the stage for entirely new ways of solving complex problems. And of course, this chip changes everything for AI. It boosts training speeds, handles enormous amounts of data with ease, and gives AI the ability to tackle problems that were out of reach until now. The combination of quantum computing and AI is opening new possibilities that feel limitless. Google has created something that takes AI and innovation to a completely new level, and the future is looking more powerful than ever. So how far can AI go when powered by quantum computing, and what happens when machines surpass limits we never imagined? Are we looking at a future full of breakthroughs, or something we're not ready to control? Let's explore what this means and uncover where it's all heading. All right, so quantum computing has always been about harnessing the strange and powerful principles of quantum mechanics to tackle problems that classical computers just can't manage. Regular computers operate with bits that are either a 0 or a 1. Quantum computers use qubits, which can be 0, 1, or both at the same time due to a property called superposition. This, combined with quantum entanglement, where qubits are linked in such a way that the state of one affects another no matter the distance.
Quantum entanglement. The state of one affects the other no matter the distance.
There's more to this story than raw speed. Hartmut Nevin, the founder of Google Quantum AI, highlighted something that's both fascinating and controversial. He suggested that Willow's unprecedented performance might be explained by quantum computation happening across multiple parallel universes. While this concept, rooted in the multiverse theory proposed by David Deutsch, is still speculative, it's a mind-bending way to think about the potential of quantum mechanics. Even if the multiverse interpretation remains unproven, the sheer capabilities of Willow offer a glimpse into a computational future that defies traditional limits.
Defies traditional limits. So quantum entanglement is spooky action at a distance, according to Einstein and according to the vampires in The Only Lovers Left Alive movie.
How does it go again?
When you separate an entwined particle and you move both parts away from the other, even at opposite ends of the universe, if you alter or affect one, the other will be identically altered or affected.
Somehow my research usually ties into vampires. Will o' the Wisp makes its appearance in Bram Stoker's Dracula. The Count, masquerading as a coach driver, takes Jonathan Harker to his castle in the night. Orbs are Will o' the Wisps, and they are fairies, which are demons, which are linked historically with vampires. The Tuatha De Danann are elves, like in The Lord of the Rings. I've covered this in many other videos, and the Harvard paper also linked fairies to the UAP phenomenon and titled them as crypto-terrestrials. Thanks for listening.